So I'm here talking with a really nice guy named Matthew. He does a lot of research on schizophrenia. So tell me a little bit about your, the light is strong right there, a little bit about your experiences and your research with schizophrenia.
I get to meet a lot of nice people. I get to study a lot of interesting things about the brain, how the brain works. I get to study about diseases like they call it, there's a lot of scientific names for it, how medication affects the brain, and how eventually we're going to find a cure for, hopefully, for the diseases of the mind, how people see different realities, and how it could all be in one reality, this reality instead of different ways of. It's very interesting. I love the field, and hopefully we can all be one people, or one. I don't know how to describe it, but it's really interesting, I think.
I would like to share a little bit, and I don't really like to talk anymore on these things, but I believe that there are a lot of voices out there. You know, we're caught in between. This is my opinion. I mean, because I'm very sensitive and I can pick up on a lot of things, and if I take heed to everything that I feel or hear or touch, I would lose my mind. You know.
Yeah.
And I think what people need to understand is that you have a spiritual arena, and then you have this physical arena where what we can see with our eyes, you know, with our limited ability, with our limited bodies and being. And I believe that in the spiritual, which is kind of invisible to our eyes, there's a lot of forces and things that we do not know about, but I think that there are certain things that are clear in the Bible, that, you know, there are angels, there are demons, there are spirits, there's all these different things working in that invisible realm. And a lot of times they speak to us, or we can feel their presence or hear their presence, and we think it's us, and it's not us all the time.
That's it, yeah.
And then I think on the flip side, there are people who have mental hang-ups, and there are psychological and mental things that are going on with their own brain as well. But it's very hard to determine what's what. And then to add to that, now we have all these different wireless transmitters, and like I can start my car 2 blocks from here with my remote from my car. I can start my car from my phone. There's 1,000 different people using these signals and wireless transmitters to start, to turn on their alarms, to turn off their alarms, to activate their camera, to look at their camera, to start their car, to unlock their car. So you have all these signals and frequencies going out, and we're picking up on that too.
Yeah. And
I think that is what's starting to make people hear things. And there's a lot of subliminal signals, which I'm not even going to get into. So I think it's very important that people be patient with some of the things that they hear. That's what I've had to learn, is because some things are God speaking. Some things are angels. Some things are forces. Some things are signals and transmitters. And so you have to be able to take your time and really discern and distinguish. This is just my opinion. Right. What you're hearing, because some of the things you're hearing is not right.
Right.
Just like when you see or hear about a man saying, "I heard this voice and it told me to go blow up the building, or it told me to kill this person." That's not a good voice. So if you're hearing things, sometimes it's good to have somebody have some opinion. Yes, so they can say, "Okay, that was not a good voice you heard. You heard incorrectly." And I think that's the problem, is that people say, well, why did you shoot your wife? Or why did you go kill this person? Why did you bomb this? Well, I heard this voice telling me to do this. Well, if you hear a voice telling you to do something like kill somebody or harm somebody, that's a bad voice. And that's a wrong voice. And you shouldn't listen to that voice. It's that simple. It doesn't matter how many times you hear that. You may hear a voice that tells you you're stupid all the time or you're dumb. There may be times that you are being stupid, and there may be times that you are being dumb. But chances are...
I hear God's voice telling me all the time, you know, commit suicide or do this or do that. But at the same time, God's voice always tells me to do good things too all the time. But, you know, it's like he has like a greater plan, obviously.
Well, I don't think God is going to tell you to commit suicide. Yeah. Okay? You have to remember that the enemy's voice is just as loud and clear. It mimics and it copies and it duplicates God's voice. So, and this is my opinion again, I feel like there are times where I hear God telling me I'm doing something stupid. And it is God. Because at that time I'm doing something stupid. Yeah. And then there are times where I hear things like you are stupid. And it's not God. It's just the devil beating up on you. You know? So if you're hearing what you feel is God's voice telling you to commit suicide, 99.9, maybe even 100%, that is not God. Yeah. That's just the enemy duplicating his voice and how he talks to you and deceiving you.
Exactly. It's interesting because it's like, you know, a lot of people, it's like, it's very confusing. It's like, you know, are you playing a game? Is someone playing? It's like it's like, are you part of the game, or like, are you just not really? Is it somebody telling you to do something? Are you trying to be part of some greater plan? Is this some kind of? It's always out there. It's like you have access to so many like different people, like, or so many different like voices you could listen to, you could talk to, you could manipulate, you could go out there in the world and you could just talk to billions of people, or you could talk to different voices, you could talk to different enemies, and it's like...
Well, that's, not to cut you off, I think that's why it's, you know, I'm a believer in Christ, and
me too.
I personally feel like I'm not perfect by far, okay, but I believe that there's a reason why we got to be careful of what we touch, what we experience, what we open ourselves up to. People here, they attach themselves sexually with a lot of people, and just a lot of different things that can that can multiply the forces that are already on you. Mm-hmm. You know, even your character, you know, like if you're greedy and you only care about money and you'll do anything to get money, and you've harmed people to get money, that can also open the door for different forces. If you eat a lot and you overeat and all you care about is food, you know, there's so many variables to this, to where people open themselves, and these are my perceptions and my beliefs, and I don't want anybody to, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, I mean, I completely understand. I'm just sharing some of the things that I've experienced here on the earth, but I really believe that you can open yourself up to even more, and sometimes that's where you retreat and you kind of just pray and meditate and just try to get some of that stuff off of you.
Oh, definitely.
Try to clear your mind, close some of those screens, some of those windows, you know, because sometimes you can open so many windows that your own computer can't process, your brain can't process all the stuff and the information and the things that are going on, and therefore you can't really make good decisions because you're hearing the wrong voices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I think everybody is on a path, you know. Not everybody finds God the same way. Not everybody can just open the Bible and find the same God. I mean, not everybody can just, you know, go out and just find the certain way that we find, the same